This was the worst Call of Duty ever made. I put a lot of thinking into it, comparing Ghosts and Infinite Warfare. This was the worst Call of Duty ever made. Just I have a lot of detail about how this was the worst Call of Duty, but you know what? I'm gonna make you guys wait until the end of the gameplay. So if you want to stick around on how I explained of this being the worst Call of Duty ever made, either skip to the end of the gameplay or just wait to the end. I don't know why you would skip it, but guess I'll get more into that later. Let's jump into it. Okay, it didn't take long to find a game. Everybody seems clean. I know they made singular variants of this weapon, but honestly, put the right attachments on it, and the original Akimbo version is really overpowered. Good example right there. Even though I literally just said this was the worst Call of Duty ever made, I did enjoy it. It was fast paced. The spawns were surprisingly good. So yeah, I try way too hard in this game. Yeah, I'm trying way too hard right now. That's a blunderbuss. You know when you see the blunderbuss point blank, you're dead.
They're hurting. Keep hitting them. Double care package on standby. Launching care package.
See, this is the only time I feel confident to call it a care package anywhere I want. Because if an enemy picks it up, it's going to blow up in their faces.
Remote turret ready for deployment. The turret has been destroyed.
I'll say it now. I did enjoy playing this game a lot, but for Call of Duty, it was the worst. And I'll get more into that after this gameplay is over. Am I really having this much fun right now? Still got him. Now I can see you, right? Well, even though that game was fun, this is still the worst Call of Duty ever made. Why is it the worst? I'm fixing to break that down. let's start with the campaign. The campaign was actually pretty fun. It had its moments. But it was left on a cliffhanger. I guess you can call it that. It was really that cliche of the war isn't over, it's just begun, that kind of bullshit, but you can't blame the developers about the hanger. You blame the community for hating on games like this. But anyway, the multiplayer, to me, it was the beginning of a bad era. The exo jumping, which resulted in the boost jumping and wall running in the next 2 years. So really, this game really was the beginning of a very, very bad era. Let's talk about the prestige grind. It wasn't really much of a grind. I mean, if you played the game 24/7, unlike me, you would go through 5 prestiges within a day because of how fast you level up in this game. And burning duplicates for XP definitely helps with that. Of course, I don't know what prestige I am. I'm not even going to try to find out which one I am. I think I am close to Grandmaster, but I probably would have been Grandmaster a long time ago if I played this game nonstop. There's other games I like to play. Now, the weapon grind, this almost ruined Call of Duty for me. I finally started getting into the weapon grind in Black Ops 2, trying to go for Diamond. Wasn't too super serious. No, yeah, it was. I was trying to do it in Black Ops 2, trying to do it Ghost. Then Advanced Warfare came out. Okay, so I'm gonna be super serious about this camo grind. The one time I decided to be super serious about it, it's not worth it, because the camo challenges are ridiculously hard. I want to look at rifles. Because you don't need to get 100 headshots. You need to get 100 long shots, which is a pain in the ass. The first weapon I worked on, it took me a month to get 50 long shots. Well, 40, 60, whichever one it was, but... Oh, and the royalty camo? A sledgehammer lights straight through their teeth on that one. Because you see gold, diamond, you think, oh wow, you gotta do something incredible to do royalty. No, you don't. Unlocking gold is easier in this game than it is in Modern Warfare 3. Get 200 kills with this weapon with no attachments. It's easy. It's a hell of a lot easier in Modern Warfare than in Modern Warfare 3. And diamond's the new gold, and royalty's the new diamond. It's just a complete ripoff. And on top of that, the weapon grind, the camo grind itself, was physically impossible because of one particular weapon. The NA-45. Typical, the worst Call of Duty ever made also has the worst weapon ever made. For those of you who don't know, the reason it's the worst weapon, only holds 2 bullets. Doesn't sound like such a big deal, though, right? It is a big deal. Okay, first bullet. See that little red blinking light? Well, here's what the second bullet does. Explosive. Now, if the detonator is nowhere near the explosive, nothing happens. Yeah. Look how close you have to be just to detonate. That's ridiculous. If you're playing core, it's impossible to use this weapon. Because if you do not hit your target with both bullets, you're not killing him. You are not killing him. And the only way to get this weapon's camos complete, it's complicated. It's a trash weapon. You have to play hardcore to use this weapon. You just have to play hardcore to use this weapon. I don't even want to talk about this weapon anymore. What I do want to talk about, though, is, honestly, this is the one thing Sledgehammer did. This is the one thing Sledgehammer did that I think is actually pretty cool. They went all out with customization. I mean, it's just freaking ridiculous. You got eyewear, helmets, tops, loadouts, gloves, pants, knee guards, boots, exosuit. That was actually pretty cool. You can make all different kinds of combinations. But then they started doing ridiculous shit like this. The clown. Really? A clown? They added so many freaking ridiculous exosuits. I mean, don't get me wrong, the jackpot one's pretty cool. Oh, and the loot crate system, to me, that was, it was something different. But then they released the advanced supply drops that you could only get by buying them with real money. I mean, even though you can earn an advanced supply drop when you get to level 20, 30, 40, and prestige, you can only do that for so many times until you get to Grandmaster Prestige. Then you cannot get any more advanced supply drops. Doesn't sound like a big deal, right? I mean, advanced supply drops just increase your chances of getting better loot. Wrong, because there's loot that you can only get from advanced supply drops. So, nice job, Sledgehammer. You really did a good job for Call of Duty back then. Even though Treyarch did do a little better by adding the whole crypto key system, Infinite Warfare kind of a copy and paste, the same with Modern Warfare Remastered. And there were supply drops in World War II, weren't there? Yeah, there's 4 Call of Duties to have supply drops. Well, 5 if you count Modern Warfare Remastered. But so far, is days away from Black Ops 4 coming out. I have seen nothing about loot crates. I am not complaining. I think that's one of the good things that is going to be good about Black Ops 4. But there's another bad thing about this game. Exo Zombies. We're not going to talk about Exo Zombies. If I started talking about Exo Zombies right now, I would have to go wash my mouth out with soap. That's how bad Exo Zombies was. But that's multiple reasons why Advanced Warfare is truly the worst Call of Duty ever made. Well, that was the end of this trash game, even though, for some reason, I say it's the worst Call of Duty game ever played. But as you saw in the gameplay, I enjoy playing it. It's weird. I hate it, but I love it. It's weird. But tomorrow is Black Ops 3.